Hi, everybody, and welcome to I Can Fix Your Movie.
Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Good. We have it's episode 12.
It is episode 12.
And I'd love to say we've got such a great movie this time.
When do we ever say that?
Well, there are some good movies that we do review, but they're not, Yeah, this one is, man, ouch. It was tough. It was tough to get through this one.
It was. It was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. This is 2005, so this is a long ways back. The Dukes of Hazzard.
The Dukes of Hazzard.
The movie.
2005.
Yeah.
Now, you and I can say that we grew up watching the Dukes of Hazzard.
Absolutely.
There's probably a lot of listeners that can't necessarily say the same thing.
Yeah, sure.
So part of the charm of this movie, I think, was supposed to be its nostalgia.
Nostalgic, right?
But
oh man,
there was not a whole lot of nostalgia in this movie. They took something that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I remember it being a lot of fun growing up to watch, and they just I don't know. So you can they muddied it up. Man, that's for sure.
You can take kind of a remake, and we've done several.
Yeah,
several remakes. And you can take it one of a couple directions. You can either ground it and make it really interesting and update it. You could take it really ridiculous and be funny. You could just, make it, a joke upon itself.
Yeah.
But every time I feel like when a film makes a joke of itself, they just lose.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
They obviously made it, and it had a good budget, and it had some good stars in it.
Well, sure.
Tons of names.
People are going to see it because it's the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, but it just wasn't good, and it was just so forgettable.
Yeah, it's another. Yeah. You said it exactly. It's like it's just when you're parodying yourself. Yeah. And making a joke out of your own content, I don't know. It just never works.
Right. Now, the interesting thing about this now, I grew up obviously watching this, and when I was younger, I actually don't remember. They said Georgia in this. Yeah. But there actually is a real Boss Hogg.
Okay.
He's a real guy.
Oh, interesting.
He's a real guy. His daughters, and he was in charge of part of a state, but I thought it was Kentucky.
Okay.
I thought.
Okay.
I don't remember for sure.
Where
Kentucky
is this,
or Tennessee?
Where is this lore coming from?
It's real. It's real. This is a real thing. He was a real dude, and he was in politics in this state. And his daughters later on went into Senate or the House, one of the two. Okay. And his last name was Hogg, but he very interestingly, because I'm not going to judge him, but he named his daughters, this is not a joke, Ima and Yura. Yeah. I feel like you went too far, boss. You just went too far.
And he was the real Boss Hogg, or he was just a guy named Hogg? We feel like he might have been...
The character was based off of this guy. Now, I don't know if he was always chasing them Duke boys. I have no idea.
Probably not.
But it was based off of this politician who apparently in the writer's mind was a shady dude. Right. I don't know how he got away with calling this guy Hogg, his actual last name. I don't know how he did. Maybe he got in trouble, but
interesting.
I
don't know how to feel about that story.
It's a real guy. I promise you, it's a real guy.
I know, but Ima and Yura.
No. You can look it up. I promise you, it's the craziest thing.
I'm going to Google it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, not right this second. I'm busy.
Oh, okay, you're going to do a little podcast with me.
All right. That's nuts.
It might seem strange. I know it might seem strange, but I promise you, Ima and Yura Hogg. Ima.
Are you looking it up right now?
Well, I just pulled it up right there. Look, you can see it. Ima Hogg. It's a real person. There it is.
What in the world?
Yep, it's real. Yeah.
I don't understand.
And I'm on Euro. There it is. There's Euro right there. It's
okay.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it's a true thing. Yeah. URA. You're Hogg. She's passed.
No, I see. I'm seeing it. I just am confused by it.
It's they're real people. Anyway.
That was a very large rabbit trail.
I know, but I thought that was interesting. I thought if you didn't know,
I
thought then maybe people would be interested in it.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that they were politicians too. So that's crazy,
weird.
Yeah. So this story of the Dukes of Hazzard, Hazzard County. Let's do a summary, just a quick overview. Of the
this should not take long. Yeah,
this should not take long. This story was the most paper thin thing. It is. It's just a paragraph. It's just,
yes, I see.
The Dukes of Hazzard follows cousins Bo and Luke Duke.
Yes.
Yeehaw. You're supposed to say yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
There it is. Two good-hearted troublemakers. Should I do the rest like this?
No.
All right. Two
probably not the rest. No.
Troublemakers who spend their days out running the crooked law Hazzard County in their beloved car, the General Lee. How was that?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thanks. Well, they're living on the farm with their good-hearted Uncle Jesse. Willie Nelson. There he is. He just.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really like Willie Nelson.
Of course.
But here's my interesting thing. Even when I was a kid, Willie Nelson looked old. And he hasn't changed really a bit.
Well, now this was 2005.
I know, but like he he always had this kind of look, and he hasn't really changed.
No,
it's like he got to
an age,
a distinguished look as an older gentleman, and he just locked it in,
and then just stayed.
Yeah, just stayed like that.
That age for a really, really, really long time,
which is cool. I mean, he's a talented dude. I mean,
oh yeah, of course.
Very. So
he's
amazing.
Anyway,
so they're living on the farm with Uncle Jesse and their cousin Daisy, and they're constantly clashing with the political boss of Boss Hogg and Sheriff Roscoe Pico Coltrane.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Yeah.
And Enos.
Yeah.
Right. And so what he does...
And
Cletus,
we really didn't see much of Cletus.
I wish we saw more of them.
He just said his name once, I think.
That's it, yeah. But here's what happens in this story. Now I just keep wanting to go back to the country. I messed it up. I messed myself up. I got back to this country thing. And what happens is he launches this scheme. So this is Boss Hogg. He launches this scheme, and he's all about making money, right? It's what he's always about. And he is going to strip mine Hazzard County for coal. Yeah. And he's going to take people's land somehow.
Very easily, apparently.
Apparently. He just makes up laws. And he's going to put it to the vote of the town, but the whole town is actually going to be at this actually very elaborate race for such a tiny town.
For such a tiny town.
It's got this massive race that is happening.
But the race itself is not enough to draw the crowd. He brought in some elite racer.
An elite racer that was from Hazzard, but now he's a NASCAR racer.
But now he's a big-time racer. But
and so the whole town came out to see him so they wouldn't go to this courthouse to dispute the strip mining.
To object.
To object to it.
Right, because if there's nobody that objects, then it's going to pass.
Right. And so it's just kind of a wild chase to the end. And, of course, there's a lot of car chases that don't make a whole lot of sense. They're just there because it's the General Lee. And they're trying to protect Hazzard County. And in the end, the Duke boys, in the nick of time, race to the end.
Right.
And bring the town. And they stop evil Boss Hogg and give him a punch to the nose.
Right. They do save the town. But they also destroy a lot of property.
A lot of property. There's a lot of...
They break up a lot of laws.
Yep. But they're good old boys.
But that's what good old boys do.
And they never mean no harm.
Never meaning no harm.
Never, ever. They don't mean harm, but they cause harm.
They
don't mean it though.
But
they don't mean it.
But in their hearts.
In their hearts, they don't mean it.
They don't.
So,
Yep.
So that's the Dukes of Hazzard. It's just it is like, I mean, it's a long movie, but like it's a feature film, but it is like they took the paper thin story from, I think the episodes were like 30 minutes back in the day, and they just kind of took that and went, all right, let's just stretch this really long.
Just stretch it out.
Put a lot of dirty jokes in there, and we'll have ourselves a movie.
Yeah.
Is what they did. So
they did indeed.
Yeah. So what did we like? What's anything at all?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. When the movie kind of opened, right, in the very first scene, and you hear the balladeer introducing the boys, I kind of got a warm feeling in my heart.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
that's indigestion.
Yeah.
It might be.
I was like, oh, this
could be fun.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And very, 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 very quickly.
Very quickly.
Like almost instantaneously.
It was like zoop.
That feeling was gone.
Yeah.
Because these were not the Bo and Luke of my childhood.
Yeah. So that's definitely when we get to the hot take misstep. It was a miscasting.
Well,
there was a miscasting.
I mean, but also just the way it was written.
Yeah.
They didn't seem good-hearted.
Yeah.
They seemed filthy-minded. And
they were
very bent on just doing whatever they wanted to do.
Chasing skirt all around.
Chasing the girls.
All around Hazzard.
Just being fast, not caring about what happens to all of the people that they...
Property damage.
And
the homes that they wreck. Not at all.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is supposed to be what we liked.
Sorry. I liked the chases were really well done. General Lee is one of the most iconic vehicles in movie history and TV history, right beside Kit.
Right.
The
Kit.
Yeah. Yep. And interesting, both cars jump far, don't they?
They do.
They're jumpers. That's what
they
do.
It's all about the jumps.
It's all about the jumps. So there's still a lot of charm to that. Those cool, car aerobatics. That's what I'm gonna call it. Do you like that? I just made that up.
I do.
Thanks.
That's a great term. Carobatics.
Carobatics. And so there's a lot of action to that, and that's really hard to create that kind of road mayhem. But it was impressive.
Yeah,
what they did.
it was. I agree. I mean, yeah, it was some pretty cool car chases.
It's supposed to capture like this fun, playful, coolness of the Duke boys, but it kind of just that's all it kind of had, and it leaned on it heavily.
Oh, very much so.
So
yeah, the General Lee was probably the star of this film.
So hot take missteps. Just like Baywatch, these, like I said, these remakes, they often feel really kind of embarrassed of the original show because they almost ignore what made it interesting and fun for us.
Right.
And just made a super thin plot to just piece the film together. And it's very frustrating. So instead of leading into that original charm, it was kind of just crude parody. And then, of course, the tone jumps from like goofy to like sort of real stakes.
Yeah.
And then it never really lands because of that.
Yeah, exactly. It takes something beloved.
Right.
And just turns it into a dirty joke.
Yeah.
And why? Anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
My hot
take
misstep. Thank you.
Yep.
I was like, hot step.
Hot take misstep.
Mistake.
Hot misstep take step.
Step. Where it went wrong for me was, I mean, even though it had some great car chases in it.
Right. I know where you're going. Where you're going.
I feel like the General Lee never really lived up to the potential that they kind of hyped it up to be.
It's a mythical car.
It was like the General Lee's won this elaborate race 4 years in a row.
Right.
But can't seem to outrun a cop car.
Every car that it was chasing it was right on top of it.
The very first scene, it's being chased by an old pickup truck.
And it was right there.
I mean, on its bumper.
It was there.
They could not get away from this truck.
And then they upgraded it to the Hemi, and It was just as slow.
Miraculously and magically, apparently, within a couple of hours.
Oh, I don't know how they got,
It went from
Cooter.
being...
Cooter is a genius. I know he did that
He's
one thing.
He's a wizard.
He's like, I need some help, boys. Okay, one line created that help.
Apparently, because
I don't know a mechanic that good ever.
The General Lee is basically totaled in the first car chase.
Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes of the film.
Right.
And then
Cooter.
Magically a couple hours later, they walk
Cooter
in.
puts it all together.
And it's not just that it's running again.
Oh, it's powder coated.
It's
with a brand new paint job in that dusty old garage barn. It's pretty dumb.
It's pristine.
Yeah.
But the only thing he couldn't fix was the doors. He couldn't get them.
Couldn't get the doors to open right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of silly. But in the very beginning when they opened the door to get in, I went, "Whoa."
I know.
Why did you do that?
Well, yeah, we're not used to that.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be... Now, see, the draw of this, this goes way back to what NASCAR and all that actually originally started, which it was, trying to outchase the law because they were moonshining.
Yes.
And that's why it was pulling in this kind of race car, NASCAR kind of feel with this guy.
Sure.
It was trying to pull that back in, going, oh, it's how it started and whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's cool. But to me, you're right. It could crash through things, but it sure couldn't.
It wasn't very fast.
It could not pace anything.
And that was like the whole.
It should have been zooming.
Yeah.
But they're doing that because they're like, oh, we can't lose the cars that are chasing it because then there's not a chase. But I'm like, what you do is you pull in other cars that are ahead of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to have some way to slow it down. But anyway.
Anyway, that's a bad one.
Anyway.
I got one more. And it does go to kind of the plot. It's a really weird plot hole that I'll adjust it later. But they had this whole thing where, Boss Hogg was going to strip mine this place. And he plants on Uncle Jesse's farm,
right?
This moonshining machine, contraption,
yeah,
and
just sticks it in the
barn and puts some moonshine out there. And he's like, "Oh, we caught you red-handed,"
right?
And they're like, "Oh, that's not ours." Now they are moonshiners. Right. They were 100% moonshiners.
That is their business.
And so they were like, "Oh, you
planted
this, but we really are doing it, but you didn't catch us doing it. You had to put it there." Now, if there's a fine for now, I don't know the laws about moonshining.
Sure.
I don't know that's even against the law. I think people do and create all kinds of stuff on their own land. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right.
I don't know.
Don't we have friends that have like a brewery?
Yeah, they've got
in their garage.
I don't understand how it was against the law.
Right.
Maybe in the 20s.
Right.
But I don't know that it's against the law now.
This did not take place during the 20s, by the way.
Yeah, this is modern. Very modern.
Right.
But here's the deal. He said, "Oh, I've got you. Ha ha. Muhaha, muhaha."
Right.
And he goes, "Now, we caught you, and we're going to take your farm.
We're seizing your property.
Because we caught you with moonshine equipment." What law is that?
Right.
What? How? What? It's like, oh, you jaywalked. I'm taking your car. What? What law? I mean, there's if anything.
I'm sure there are laws where, I don't know, they can impound your vehicle, but a property, just because you broke the law, they're just gonna.
A fine, right? You can fine you. And at the most, if it's like, oh, this is your, third offense or some kind of thing, we're going to serve you. You got to go to jail, I guess. Or, I just don't understand how you can take your property.
Right. Well, not only but the sheriff took it.
The sheriff took it. And the thing is.
But then it
ended up
being
belonging to Boss Hogg.
Belonging to Boss Hogg.
How?
And we're never clear on how that happened, but after the property is seized, then Boss Hogg is like, "It's my property.
It's mine now."
All right.
Oh, God. We got to just suspend disbelief,
no
I guess,
one questions.
on that.
Okay.
These crazy laws of Hazzard County. I guess. I don't know. It's a misstep because it just doesn't make sense. So
no.
All right, let's dive in. Act 1. All right, the movie starts with a character introduction that's really long and no story.
No story.
It is just the longest expedition. Literally, I checked. It was like 25 minutes or something, and it was still introducing characters.
Yeah.
No conflict of anything.
No.
The tiniest thing was like Enos said something about Boss Hogg wouldn't want, it's not going to be worth anything. You might as well get on out or whatever.
I don't even know. The craziest part is that we already know these characters.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they made the movies, because everybody knows these guys.
The thing is, like, if you didn't, it's not going to make it easy. Again, it's a waste of time. You should have dove into the story and not introduced for 25 minutes. So
yeah, it was
and just Bo and Luke are just racing around, causing chaos.
Yeah.
And there's no clear conflict at all. It's just yeehaw. That's it, literally.
Right.
So for a fix,
it's just kind of joke after joke.
Yeah, and driving. And that's it.
And Daisy, who wears the most revealing thing possible and then gets upset when guys look at her.
Yeah. I mean, look, she can wear whatever she wants. And, it's...
Sorry, that was a very... That was a subject I probably should not have opened up. That's just me and my opinion.
It's okay.
Of the movie.
She can wear whatever she wants. However, the problem is the movie used that.
They used
on purpose,
it.
and so did she.
And she used it on purpose when she wanted to. But then when she didn't want
people,
chastised people.
I understand the issue here. Like the problem is that like she's flaunting around and like doing these things, but the problem is she was specifically using it almost as a weapon and like
to manipulate people.
Yeah, to manipulate people. And,
absolutely, she was.
She finally got called out on the last one. I was like, "No, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, there's that."
Yeah,
okay,
at
fine.
least, yeah.
So, anyway, the thing is with this, it's got all these, characters and they introduced and all, but like, you got to start with a threat to Hazzard. We got to understand that there's a threat to Hazzard County, and the boys stumble on it. Okay,
yes.
Boss Hogg should already be buying up the land, and I'm going to talk about how that happens a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But Uncle Jesse hears about the rumors. He's trying to get the boys to help figure out what's going on, and it's not just running around being silly. There's a point, and there's an overall arching kind of problem that they have to figure out, right?
Right.
And it's not just a random wackiness. Does it make sense?
Well, random wackiness, okay, for maybe a few minutes.
Yeah,
but 30 minutes
it's incorporated. It's woven in
to
this story about people's land being taken from them.
Right.
And we got to see that early on and throughout the whole thing. Seeing people move away, whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah. Problem 2, Bo and Luke are pretty much the same people.
They're the same.
They're the same people. They're both just dumb people. They're dumb boys that are just like
yeah. They didn't write them as intelligent.
No,
they didn't write them as well, we might not have a lot of money, but at least we can outsmart you,
right? And they're
which is what the original show was. It was these guys, kind of the everyday, your every man, who was
they're gonna
beating the outsmarting,
right? And they're
kind
gonna
of
but they're doing the right
villain.
They're doing the right thing,
but they're doing the right things.
These guys are interchangeable with each other completely. You could have written the same joke for
either
whoever.
one. Yep.
They joke the same way. They act reckless the same way. They're just kind of like these kids that are daring each other to do stupid stuff.
Right.
No, you do it. Okay, light on fire. Now hold in your hand.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
And it just kind of removes any kind of dynamic that it could have had. And from the original had some dynamic to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because those characters are way more grounded than these guys.
Absolutely. Well, and they had, they were clever.
Yeah. So for a fix, you make Bo the really amazing driver because he drove the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be like the best driver. But Luke is smarter. Like he's a planner. He can figure things out, how to outmaneuver things, right? And when things go wrong, Bo uses the car and Luke strategizes.
He's the strategist, yeah.
Right. And then it's like, as they're going through their stuff, it's not just like they're not just these womanizers that are laughing at basically fart jokes throughout the whole thing. But,
exactly.
They're just more fun. But again, everybody was shown as like they love these boys, but
they weren't lovable.
But more specifically, when did they show why they would be loved? Why people love these guys. I mean, they have to do something for the community to make them, the Robin Hoods of Hazzard County.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to do a 30-minute introduction of characters, introduce them as why they are the heroes of our story.
Right. And the story would have been way more fun if the boys were more interesting and not just dense caricatures. You know what I mean? Number 3, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Daisy doesn't do much in this story. She's just a prop for people to ogle.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like we said earlier, she could dress however she wants to dress.
That's not the issue.
That's definitely not the issue. I think for this film, she has always been, the kind of the eye candy of the original story, and they didn't change that at all. You can make her be a beautiful woman, but like, she's got to be intellectually, I think, the sharpest tack out there. She's, I feel like, so, she, instead of just, having her as a bikini, right? Mm-hmm. So the fix, she's in charge of the boar's nest, which is where she worked. We realized that she's actually running that. Right. And she's gathering information from Boss Hogg, and she's like, whoa, and she's piecing it together. She's like that spy in, Germany that can come in and hear all the plans, piece it together and wink at the boy and make him feel like disarmed. And then she's, stabbing him because she got all the information.
Sure.
And she can fill everybody in. Discovering what he's scheming and make her like intertwined with the story.
Exactly. And I also kind of thought they were going to go in a direction that they ended up not going. There's like pretty early on, we meet her and then we go to the farm and Uncle Jesse's looking for her and he finds her and she's kind of running this still.
Yeah.
And, she's not wearing the skimpy outfit. She's kind of got her grubbies on because she's like working on this still. And I thought, they're going to make her like the tinker or the person who can fix anything.
And they didn't get anywhere close to that.
And that never came up again. Yeah. She didn't do anything else.
Could have made her really interesting and it just didn't. Yeah. Okay. Act 2. Boss Hogg's plan was very confusing. And impossible also.
Yeah.
It's overcomplicated, confusing, and impossible.
We literally had to set aside everything we know about society and rules to buy into this plot.
He's going to take people's land and then they're going to coal mine on it. And that's the end. And I'm just going to take your land because I'm going to say you did something wrong. And then just because you broke the law, I'm going to steal your land.
Right.
I mean, every person that owns land in this country knows
that's not how
it's really hard to get you off your land. Like, even if you like own a house and you don't pay for it for years and years and years, it's hard to get you off your land.
Yes.
The laws protect people. And like, this is the silliest thing. Like, I found something wrong in your house. I'm taking it.
Yep.
You can't do that.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I think for a fix, here's the deal. Boss Hogg wants Hazzard County for this giant industrial mining site, right?
Sure.
Okay. So his plan is he's going to plant stuff in people's houses and whatever, arrest the breadwinners, put them in jail, then make the trial really long and keep pushing it. And these people can't pay their mortgages. Their houses and stuff, the land is getting seized and it's going to go up for auction. And he was going to be the only one to buy.
And then he buys them.
The land when they do the race. Not the strip mining opposition or whatever.
Right.
But at the auction, there's nobody there that's going to buy the land. You can buy it for a penny and get all their land.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? That's way quicker.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I
Well, it would have made more sense for sure.
Yeah, because the trip to Atlanta the Duke boys do is the dumbest waste of time in the whole movie.
Well,
it's like they got to go check these samples, these core samples of this land, and it just is just to get them in this, sorority,
right?
And see girls naked, and then like go hoo,
yeah,
and then test the stuff, and then get into a chase.
That's literally the only purpose of these scenes. It doesn't help the plot. It doesn't move the story forward.
It's really dumb.
It has nothing to do with anything that's happening in the movie. It's just a way to get them, in another chase, and it's ridiculous.
Well, that is the next problem. In the middle of this whole movie, it becomes this random car chase in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's a big car chase, and it's kind of cool, but it doesn't build to anything. It's just kind of this, disconnected.
There's no point in it.
Yeah, there is disconnected action sequences, and it's so silly.
Yeah,
the
whole thing.
Yeah, for a fix, I'm going to say right now, every single chase has to be connected to something, right? So first the Dukes stumble onto the documents.
Yeah.
And they chase him for that. Then that they have to get away with it and use those things, and they've got to get it to the proof of stealing this land, and they've got to uncover that they were planting this stuff on people's property.
Right.
Then they have to deliver to the courthouse, and every plot point, you can have the chase,
right?
But it's not just filling time.
Yeah,
because
it's not just showing us that Bo can drive.
Yeah, because that's what it felt like.
I mean, we've got a whole end race where you can show us that he can drive. We don't need a pointless chase in the middle.
Right. So, Act 3. We're kind of at the end here.
Okay.
Alrighty. The climax does not feel big enough at all.
No.
It's just they're trying to get to the courthouse because it's like, oh, we got to get there to oppose this strip mining thing.
Here's the crazy part is that while because the boys do get caught in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they get put in jail. And Boss Hogg takes his time.
Yeah, he reveals his plan.
Takes his time to drive down there and visit them in prison.
To just reveal the plan. And
to
no other reason.
And they're like, why are you doing this? And then he just tells them everything. Tells them exactly what his plan is. Tells them how he's scheming, how he's manipulating, and...
He's monologuing.
He's monologuing.
He's evil monologuing.
And, so that felt kind of pointless at the same time.
Super pointless. Again, trip to Atlanta is dumb.
Well, but yeah, I mean, that leads us to this climax where the boys haven't necessarily figured out what's going on.
Yeah.
They've just been told.
Yeah.
And so now they have to figure out a way to get to the courthouse by noon, and they need everybody in town to go to the courthouse.
So, but the end chase was just a chase, and it didn't feel like the fate of the county was at stake. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it should have. And that's the whole thing. It just was like, oh, we're going to do this rally thing, but we got to stop them, but we don't know how. But they were not related at all.
No.
It's like this
the
race.
The race that was supposed to be this big distraction didn't even end up being what it was supposed to be. Yeah. It was really bizarre.
Yeah, very, very odd. They just wanted to, again, put another race in. So for a fix, all right, the climax should happen at the moment Hazzard County is about to, sell off this land in our version, right? And Hogg he's like super excited. He thinks he's won. the townspeople thinking maybe the Dukes maybe are criminals at this point because they've been framed for things, and they're starting to lose hope in the Dukes.
Okay.
Hope is waning. The Duke boys, once heroes, things are waning, and Uncle Jesse's farm is about to be auctioned off, right? So here's the deal. Bo and Luke have to race across the county to deliver this evidence and expose Boss Hogg's corruption.
Right.
It goes into the race.
Right.
That is happening.
Yeah.
And, because Daisy and Cooter are in cahoots, they're changing the race course.
Okay.
And it's making it go to
the courthouse.
The courthouse.
Yes.
Yes. And people are like, hold on. Oh, my goodness, something's happening. And and they're like, they're doing this thing. Everybody, come on. And they somehow get the town to follow them.
The town is wanting to see how this race is going to play out.
And so they're right there at the end. They're like, they've changed the stuff. It's clearly not going to happen there. They've changed the stuff. And they're like, oh, come on, let's go. And maybe they don't go. And then Uncle Jesse's like, free moonshine? And they're like, whoa. Like, what? Right.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Or maybe in our version, you don't need the whole town to be at the courthouse. You just need the Duke boys to get there in time to...
Or the people... The people that the land was taken. Just them, maybe.
Just them. Yeah.
Right. So they're racing across the county to deliver the evidence, expose Hogg's corruption, right? Mm-hmm. The pursuit weaves into the race. They hijack the race. But then it's also like the cars, the Duke boys and police cars and, heavy machinery, like all the cars.
Yeah.
All the cars, right?
Yes.
And they're all trying to stop them, and they're all weaving in and out, and they're going back and forth, like whatever obstacles Hogg is throwing in front of them. They're going through whatever. They're riding up on the, the sides of buildings and just going, on the halves and halvesies, just up on the side, whatever it needs to be to get there.
Right.
And then the final legendary jump, right? Imagine the General Lee crashing right into the courthouse.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been epic, awesome, right?
Yep.
And they're like, whoa! And they're like, this has got to stop, man. And like, of course, Bo's like, okay, baby, right?
Yeah.
Because he loves his car, but he knows it's going to get totaled.
Oh, yeah.
You follow? You
see I can see it. I'm envisioning it right now, yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they crash in the courthouse, stop the auction from happening. It's like, hold on, we can't do this. And like, whoa, we didn't even, this is the proof, Judge. And they're like, whoa, hold on. Well, we still got to do the auction. And he's like, well, I'm ready here to bid this stuff. And we can't stop it. And then Uncle Jesse with Daisy and Cooter, they bring in the landowners that are like, yeah, we can do this. And then, because they have the evidence, Boss Hogg's like, well, maybe I better leave now. Yeah. And they're able to get their farms and their stuff back at like $1. And it's even better. Like,
Sure.
From the back, then it's like they paid off all their stuff. And then they're huge heroes.
Right.
Because they actually paid off their farms. It ended up being, what evil meant for evil turned out to be brilliantly amazing. And the Duke boys saved the day.
And the Duke boys really saved the day.
Yeah, because their farms are now paid off because they auctioned them off.
Right.
And that's awesome now.
Yes.
So it would have been, happy day, right? So
absolutely. I think that's a great fix.
Right. Thank you. Problem 8. The movie forgets what made the original story work. It really did.
1,000,000 trillion %.
At its core, the Dukes of Hazzard is just about community. Mm-hmm. And the movie focuses on these jokes and forgets the emotional payoff. Right.
The original Dukes of Hazzard, you said it earlier, the Robin Hood story. Right. That's what this is.
I mean, it's in the song. It is. It's in the Dukes of Hazzard. Do you remember that?
Yes, it's literally in the song, and that's what this story should be. Yeah. And it really doesn't play out that way in the film. No, they just two idiots that just I drive fast. Yeah.
Exactly. So for a fix for this, when the Dukes expose Boss Hogg, the entire town is there. They're standing up together. Mm-hmm. Because maybe Boss Hogg was going to bid on it, but then the town walks in and he's like, oh, right? Maybe we don't have to go to your establishments anymore, sir. And he's like, oh, well, maybe darn it. Okay. Right?
Right. He gets caught red-handed.
Yeah. Instead of just saying, oh, here's the governor and make him see. I mean, it's just so.
Yeah.
That's overcooked and it's so silly. Well, pardon you. Okay, whatever.
Right. Even the governor is a dingbat in this film.
So everybody realizes that they were kind of being pushed out and pushed on by Hogg and what he's done because they can pass the papers around and they're like, right? You know, they're really going to get him. And so then at the end of it, they didn't just win the race or whatever. They really saved Hazzard County.
They really actually saved Hazzard County.
And that's the end.
Yeah. I think the biggest mistake was
forgetting the source.
Forgetting why we loved the show in the first place. Right. I mean, what we loved about the Dukes of Hazzard is that they really were good-hearted, and they really did try to help people,
right? Even
if they, had to maybe break a few laws in the process. But
right.
But this one, you got a couple of just, ridiculous
dingbat boys, right?
Guys who acted like middle schoolers rather than men, who through the whole movie had no idea what their next step was,
right? Even to the last scene,
had no plan.
Out these girls,
they didn't. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't strategize anything. They never had a plan. They, all they thought about was themselves, and it wasn't about the town at all.
No. Well, some of the town, the females of the town,
right?
Yeah, the original movie or the original
shows.
The original shows just had a lot more heart, and this felt more like a sketch comedy version of that, extension of that, and they should have embraced the charm of Hazzard County and the people, but they treated the characters like punchlines, and I think just a stronger version of it would have been grounding it and having a real problem and having the boys step up and
actually solve it.
Yeah, solve it and help the people out and
for the people, not for themselves.
Yeah, because
for
family, loyalty, fighting corruption, and then high speed chaos on dirt roads.
Yep.
That's
what we wanted.
That would have been it.
Yep.
But they didn't have very clear stakes, and they didn't have a very strong plot. It was just silly and didn't work.
Yeah.
So that's sadly
too bad.
The very forgettable Dukes of Hazzard 2005 film.
There you go. There it is.
Well, that's it, kids. That's all we got for you this week. I hope you had a good time. Remember, there's some of you guys out there. You listen every week. You really do, and we love you for it.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to ask one thing of you, and I don't ask a lot, but I'm going to ask you guys, can you just keep making sure that, you share it, but let us know how you feel. Leave us some comments, but leave some reviews on wherever you listen to podcasts and wherever in the world that is, and let us know who you are. And we'd love to kind of chat with you and let you know what's coming up next and that whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's it, everybody. And that was Dukes of Hazzard, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.